Welcome back to Beelzebub the Jag. I've got an awful lot done the last couple of days. I would normally be, what's today? Today's Sunday. Yeah, yesterday's Saturday and Sunday. I'd normally be in Brighton, but I've been unable to travel. Old Lucifer here has got a broken differential, so I'm not travelling. So I've put the time into Beelzebub, and it's been nice to have some undisturbed time. You know, normally I get up ever so early, sort of 4 o'clock in the morning usually, work a lot, then I go to the salon, work in the salon, then I come home and I'm the line in the street working on this, and so they're after 12 to 14 hours of graft. The last thing I need is more graft, but you know, it is what it is. I don't normally get the time to work on the car because I'm with the family in the weekends. I'm a bit sour not being in Brighton this weekend, but at least I've got a lot done. You probably saw me making the if you saw the previous videos, you can't really see it because it's dark. It's all welded in anyway. Obviously there's a lot of scorching to the paint, and there is some distortion, which is inevitable. I'm yet to address the distortion, and I won't be able to get the distortion out 100%, probably only 75%, and the rest of it was intention to fill with lead loading it in a traditional sort of old-fashioned sense. I love lead, you know, I don't like that plastic white filler. Now, as I've been sort of grafting and working feverishly on this, you know, I've got to do the other side because the other sill's perforated and patched as well. And I'm beginning to realise I am being a little bit silly. You know, I'm going for originality for originality's sake. And those are the original factory sills that are on this car. And I was determined to keep them. That's why I've made the sections and welded them all in. But I could probably spend another 6 or 7 hours getting the distortion out, and at least 4 or 5 hours lead loading. And it's just a huge amount of time. I've yet to start the other side. And it's just occurred to me, I might as well, I know it pains me because I do not want to be replacing savable, salvageable panels, but I think I'm actually going to bite the bullet and buy a new pair of sills, brand new, and fit them. And it sort of pains me, not so much that I've wasted a lot of time, because I have spent a huge amount of time, but it's just removing an original panel which is savable. It does bother me, but ultimately, if I get that outer sill off, I'll be able to completely, really rust treat all the inside, get rust treater in there, paint it heavily, you know, wax proof it, then put a new sill on, and I'll be able to paint all the back of the new sill. It was obviously those sills are not painted. The factory didn't paint them, and you know, that's why they perforate. They didn't paint them and they didn't rust treat them, and I'm wanting to save that panel. It just seems a little bit silly, but I'm going to make a decision tonight. I'm not going to do any more work on that sill today. I'm pretty happy with what I've got. You know, it's very, very solid. You know, like I say to you, you can't really see it from the distance, and the pavement's wet, so I'm not going to be lining it. It's, you know, there's just some distortion, but it's inevitable, whatever type of weld, whether you do MIG, oxyacetylene, or whether you do TIG, you're going to get some distortion. If I put brand new panels on, there'll be no distortion. I'll be able to rust proof it perfectly. I'll be able to paint it, you know, it'll make a better job. It's just this thing of originality. It really troubles me because it's such an original car. It's got 4 original doors, 2 front wings are original, bonnet's original, everything's original. You know, even the rear valances, which normally rot out on Jags, horrendous, because these here, dreadful mud traps, they get full of mud, and they're original. The only replacement panel I've got, I've already bought it, is this valance here. That is absolutely shot. I'm not even going to try and save that. It's shot. I've already got a brand new one, and I've also bought, because these have failed as well, but it's inevitable. See, you can see I can get my finger in there. It's rotten. The stone splash guards. There's 1, 2. There's 2 in there. Same the other side. There might even be 3. I can't remember. But I have bought brand new panels. See, this one's even worse. Look. It's very rotten, but I'm not worried about it because I've got a brand new panel in its packaging. I'm going to paint it both sides, and it's just a screw-on panel. And it goes underneath here. There's another one under there. I haven't actually taken that out yet, but I'm pretty sure it will be rusty. But I've got a replacement. And what happens? There's a vent here, and fresh air goes through that vent in the headlight, and it goes through a pipe. There's quite a thick pipe. And it goes right the way through, and then what does it do? Yes, it comes down, and then it goes in the side here, inside, and you know, it's yeah, comes down. There's a hole which into the body panel behind the sill, goes into behind the dashboard for fresh air. It's very clever design. You also get the fresh air through the vents here, so you can open them or close them. If the air conditioner's not working or you've got it off, you just open or close these, and you get the fresh air fed through the headlights. But yeah, everything's so original. I really did want to keep it original, but I'm exhausted, to be honest. I'm absolutely exhausted. I've been working very, very, very hard for a few years, and taking on a project like this in the street is nothing short of murder. I know they're savable, but God, the extra work, and ultimately there's definitely some corrosion on the insides already, which I can't really get to. I think I'm just going to do it. I'm going to make the decision tonight. I'm going to sit down. I'm going to have a good look. I know S&NG Barrett do original factory panels. They've got original ones, and they've also got reproductions, which are very, very good. You'd struggle to tell the difference, but the way I'm feeling just now, I think that's the way I'm going to go. I've spent a massive amount of time on that. Now it's pretty much finished and ready for lead loading. I'm saying no, I'm going to cut it off, because of course what I'll do, this flange here will be part of it, because that needs remedial treatment. Look, it's going to need bits cutting out, so the sill section it wraps around, so it'll be trimmed out inside the door right down where I've spent all that time welding. So have a look at this one. It looks sound enough, but when you start cutting and grinding back, it very well might perforate. It very well, when I take this wing off, it might be perforated in there. So I really do think that's the way I'm going to go. The way I'm feeling just now, I'm just not sure. I'm not sure that I've done a good enough job. And I'm not sure it'll be permanent enough. There could be surface rust hidden on the inside that in 2 or 3 years' time will come through, and that would be very painful. Obviously, if I take it off and buy a brand new panel, and I would paint the panel before. And what I'd also do, I would actually use a MIG welder. I wouldn't oxyacetylene weld them on. Let's have a look, see if we can see along the. So where is it? Oh, I'm grovelling in the dirt down here. Along this flange here. That's the floor pan and the sill. Yeah, they're spot welded all the way along. So what I'd do, I'd replicate that. I would punch little holes or drill little. I do have a punch actually all along the edge of this sill. Clamp it on, then I would MIG weld the little holes up, and allow the MIG to sort of sink slightly. If you get it quite hot, so it's glowing, and pull the trigger away, and when it cools, it sinks and gives the appearance of a spot weld. So if I'm very clever and careful about it, I will be able to give the appearance of original spot welds. I don't have a spot welder. I'd love one. I really would love one, but they're fiendishly expensive. Reasonable ones approaching £1,000, and even second hand, they're £500-600. So I'd use it for a few minutes. I suppose there is the option of hiring one and spot welding it along. I don't know. Maybe I'll look at that. But yeah, if I get a brand new set of sills, that's a good idea. Maybe I'll hire just for a couple of days a spot welder just to do the bottom seam. That may make sense. But I'm rambling now. I'll make a decision, and realistically, I think I'm just going to buy new sills. But I'll give it a good bit of thought tonight.